I'm going to demo the new LiDAR service that I've been working on for MyRobotLab. First, you can see I've started up MyRobotLab and started a LiDAR service. It actually automatically will start this LiDAR serial service. And this is a modification of the WIDAR or WIDAR GUI tab. And so what I'll do is run the code that connects to an actual LiDAR. So first I connect to the appropriate serial port. First I actually create and start the service with the same name as this service it's already running. Then I connect to the serial port. Down here I set the scan mode to a 100-degree spread in increments of 1 degree. And I send the signal to take a single scan, and I do that repeatedly in this while loop once a second. And then I have a listener up here that whenever it gets data back from the single scan, it processes it, and I've got it printing out the X and Y coordinates for plotting in the Python right now. However, that's not really required because it automatically will plot in the LiDAR widget, video widget. So first, let me explain what's expected to be seen. So I have the LiDAR pointed at this area under my desk, and it's going to track where my finger is tracking now in the video. So you should see the two sides here, the wall of the desk, the back, and the SparkFun box. And so let's see what happens when I run it. It takes it a second to change mode. So there we go. So here is where the LiDAR is sitting, and it shoots the laser beam out actually starting from this side and scans. And this is the SparkFun box, and I'll move the box. So you can see I moved the box, and it updates once per second. So that's where the box is now. I'll move it back. The maximum range here is automatically set such that whatever the range is, the highest value of the actual reading is 5 pixels less than the size of this window. That way your full scan display is as big as possible in that window. Now let's move the LiDAR from pointing under the desk to just pointing out here into the room, which is kind of set up in a similar way, but it's actually much further away. So if I now turn the LiDAR to face this part of my room, we can see this is just about the same. Oh, actually I had an error in my serial port, so I could start it over. But the image is going to basically look very similar because, as I said, regardless of how far away an object is, the entire scan fits in this window. So it zooms just to fit the window. So I'll run this. Okay, so there's a very similar layout here for the data. I'm going to walk in front where the box is, the Dremel box, and move it. So you see my legs. I'm standing behind the box now. and I just removed the box. So now the furthest distance is the wall behind where the box was sitting. So that is the LiDAR service. Right now it's only working with the LMS200, the SICK LiDAR, and it only supports the standard functions, which would be turning it on and setting the mode for different angular resolutions and a different spread, either a 100-degree spread or a 180-degree spread, and of course taking a single scan. That's going to be added to over time as other LiDARs become available.